YouTubers, this is Kelly Cam 94 back with another awesome video for you guys today. I'm in the kitchen cooking some chorizo chili today. I'm going to show you guys how I make my chorizo chili. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and all the ingredients and the recipe will be down below. I'll link it for you guys. So right now I have my chorizo in there with my meat. So I got 2 pounds of chorizo yesterday. Then I put a half of a pound of regular meat. So you want it on high heat, and you can use a big pot or a crock pot. So I'm using a big pot right now because I can't find the crock pot. So you got the chorizo and the meat cooking. You want it on like medium heat or high heat so your meat and your chorizo can cook all the way. So after, see how it looks, I'm going to show you guys like the meat and the chorizo's in there. So the chorizo you can get at the Mexican store and stuff. So right now I'm going to cut up the onions. So once this is all cooked, I'm going to put the onions in there and the green peppers in there so it will cook and soften better. So right now I'm going to cut up the peppers and wash them, because you always want to wash them before you start cooking. You always want to wash your hands with soap, and you can wear gloves. And I'm not wearing an apron today because my apron is getting washed. So I'm gonna cut up the peppers and onions right now and wash them. So that's what I am doing right now. So I'm gonna cut it up and take out the seeds and wash them. And after I wash them, I'm gonna chop them into small dice sizes. And then the ingredients that you'll need for this is you'll need 2 peppers, green peppers, an onion, your chorizo meat and your regular meat, and then you'll need beef broth, 2 of that. Then you'll need your kidney beans. I'll show you guys all the ingredients right here, if I can pick it up. So you got your 2 types of meats. You got your saltine crackers. I've got the cheapy one, the smart way, because I saved tons of money. So this was $1, I think 25. Let that meat get cooking all the way before you stir it some more. And then I got this super sweet corn to put in there. It was like, I think $1 or something. And then I got this pack of chili mix that comes with 4-pack. I think it was $1.99. It's better to buy it like this because you get more for your bang, for your buck. So that's what I got. I got 2 peppers. So you guys want to get the green peppers, chop them thin. So I already had onions at home, so I got 1 onion in there. And then I have 2 of the beef broth, and I got these for $1.99. So I got 2 of these. I got the 50% low sodium. So I got 2 of those to go in there. I got a little container, a little squirt of sour cream. And we already had hot sauce, so I didn't buy hot sauce. And then then you'll need kidney beans. So I got the dark red kidney beans. And I got these peeled tomatoes. These were like 79 cents. No, these were $1. These were 79 cents. And you can, it depends on how much you're making it for the family. If you're making for a big family, you will have to portion them out to your serving size. So I am making it for my family and sharing it with my grandparents because they wanted to try some. So I'm going to give them a little bit of it. Once you cook your chorizo and meat, there's going to be a lot of liquid from the chorizo because the chorizo already has all the flavor. So you don't want to dump out the chorizo juice because it's going to amp up the chili a little bit when you put the beef broth in there, because it'll give it flavor to it. So you never want to dump out your chorizo liquid from here with your meat. You're going to just stir it a little bit and let the meat and the chorizo get cooking. And once it gets fully all the way cooked, and then you'll add your onions and your green peppers. So right now I'm still cutting up the green peppers. So I'm going to use this spoon and scoop it out because it's kind of hard for me to use a knife and get it. So I'm going to use this spoon and see if I can get out the seasonings from here. Or you guys can cut it in the middle and get the, I might have to cut it in the middle so I can get the seeds out. And you always want to make sure you take out all the seeds because you don't want no seeds in it. And then make sure you don't cook the stickers. There's stickers on these bell peppers, so make sure you take that off. So I have a little trash bag right here for trash. So you always want to have like a little trash bag where you can throw all your scraps in there, all your trash in there. So you got the first one done. Now onto the second one. So let's cut it right through the middle and cut the tops off, because you always want to cut the top stems because you don't want to eat it, because the top stems are not good to eat on the top. So okay, I got all of it cleared off. I'm going to wash them now. I'm going to wash them and then dice them real good. So alright, so these are washed real good. Now I'm going to dice them. So I'm going to turn the camera a little bit so you guys can see me dicing them. Hopefully you guys can see me. Alright, yeah, so I'm going to start dicing my onions and stuff. Like I said, once your meat and everything cooks, you want to put your onion and your bell peppers in there so it can get softened. You don't want to put your corn yet, and you can put your corn in with it, but you don't want to put your beans and your tomatoes in yet because it will get soggy. So you want to wait until it gets your onions, your corn, and your bell pepper gets nice and soft, and then you can add the rest of the stuff. Then I add a little bit of chili seasoning and some chicken broth in there, but right now it's cooking, so I don't want to stir it too much because the chorizo liquid is soaking up the regular meat, so the regular meat will have the chorizo juice inside of it and it will taste better. And don't forget, do not dump out your chorizo liquid, because the chorizo liquid has a lot of flavor that will bring out into your chorizo chili. So let's chop these up. So let's get I'm gonna chop it up and put it on this round plate right here. So let's chop up the bell peppers. So you want to chop up your bell peppers in half, and then you want to long slice it and then dice it real small. So I'll do that. Alright, let's get this. So when you are dicing your green peppers, you want it real small like this, because it's for a chili. But if you're doing like a different type of soup, you can have it bigger if you want to, but I am dicing it small. You can add red ones if you want to, but I prefer the green ones to give it more color. This is my second time making it, but this is my first time making it on camera for you guys, because the first time I made it was at my sister-in-law's house and they love it. So I'm gonna make it for my family because they never had it except for me and my youngest brother. So I'm gonna dice all of my veggies. So you guys can hear that sizzle, and the meat is getting cooked. So I won't stir it yet until a couple more minutes, and then I'll stir it. Then I can't show you guys what it looks like, because if I tilt it over, everything's gonna spill out. So it's cooking in there. You guys will see the aftermath when it's all done. I'm still cutting up these bell peppers. I wish there was an easier way for me to process, but it's going to take some time because I really don't want to chop my fingers. So you want to be careful. So I'm going to dice, dice, dice. So yeah, this is a good, easy go-to like party snack, like party food, or like if it's cold and you want something hot and warm, like a type of soup, you guys can make this. But it depends on how big your family size are. If you're doing it for a party, I suggest you to do a load of it, like a big heaping pot of it, because you know you have a lot of people. So if you're doing it for a small family, you can use this pot, or you can use a smaller pot than that. If you're doing it for yourself, I suggest you to use a smaller pot. If you're doing it for yourself or 1 to 2 people, use a smaller pot. Because if you use a bigger pot, you're going to be wasting all the food. So make sure you guys measure out everything to your portion size that you want. If it's for yourself, you will measure it, the meat portion to yourself, your vegetables and everything to your likings. And then if you're doing it for a whole big party or family dinner or whatever, you want to use a bigger pot. And double size your ingredients too. So I am doing a big giant family size, like I said, because my grandparents want to try it, because I tried my grandpa's chili, but he never tried my chili, so he wants to try some of it. So it will be great. And then my mom never tried my chili, so, or my dad. So it'll be their first time. But it'll be my brother's second time and my second time. And I love chorizo chili. So let's still chopping up some more peppers. I think this might be quite a few peppers, bell peppers already. So I only did one pepper. So I'm gonna probably just do the one, because that's a lot of bell peppers already. So I'm gonna keep the other one I bought and keep it for later on. But when you're eating this chorizo chili, you can put make a guacamole dip and put it on top. But since I don't like avocados, we're gonna put sour cream on top of it and some hot sauce, because we love our hot sauce. We cannot have any food without any hot sauce or anything like that. So the meat is getting cooked. So I'm gonna give it a little stir, because it's almost cooking all of the meat. There's still a lot more that needs to be cooked in there, because the regular meat is still like red. So you want to break them up and let all that chorizo juice get to it. So you want to like make sure you break it up and get everything cooking evenly. And I wish you guys could smell it. It smells so good right now. So I'm going to just, like I said, I'm going to just use 1 pepper. I was going to put 2 in there, but after I diced it real small and looked at the plate, it was kind of a lot. So I'll just use the 1, and I'll keep the other one for something else. So, and then I'll cut up my onions. Alright, so I got my bell peppers cut. You always want to put your bell peppers on one side and your onions on one. So now I'm going to cut my onions. So let's cut it into little nice onion slices. Alright, so let's cut it. Alright. Usually when I open an onion or like peel it off, I usually cry, but there's a technique that I did where where it don't make me cry anymore. So before you like cut through the middle of the onion, you always want to cut off the bottom of it and then the top of it. If you cut the bottom of it, that's where all of the acid is. So you want to cut the bottom and then the top, and then you'll cut a little slit in the middle and then peel it off. That's how you will not cry when you have an onion. So that is my little technique, because I had to cut like a whole bag of onions for my aunt for her prepping for her baby shower. So she made me do a whole thing of onions, and she's like, how come you're not crying? Because I cut it from the bottom then the top of it. So I'm dicing these into little nice bite sizes to put into the soup. So I'm going to put this on the side. My family loves onions, so it's going to be fully loaded with onions. Right, let's cut the other half of the onion. The meat is almost getting there, almost getting cooked all the way. Then I can add all of my vegetables in there, so it will get soft and tender, because right now the bell pepper is kind of hard and you want it to be soft and tender. So you're going to put it in there and your onions with all of your stuff. And then all your other ingredients, you'll add it in a little bit later, because you want to make sure you saute all of your meat and all of your onions and bell peppers before you add your liquid in and your other ingredients in. And this will be cooking for like at least an hour or so, because I'm gonna be leaving later, so I'm trying to get all of this cooked and done before my mom gets home and my brother gets home from work. So I want to get it done and take some over. Last onion. Alright, since I got all my onions cut and my bell peppers cut, now I'm going to stir up the meat and see where it's at. So I'm going to wash my hands right now. So every time you're working with something new, you always want to wash your hands. So my hands are washed with soap. Now I'm going to take my spatula and start stirring. I'll show you guys in a little bit how it looks. It's almost getting there. It is halfway getting cooked, so I'm gonna break up the meat because there's big chunks of meat. And when you are making chorizo chili, you want to make sure you have small chunks of meat. You don't want it to be clumped up together, so you're gonna take your spatula and just pound it down so you can break some of the meat up. So the meat is pretty cooked all the way because there's chorizo juice cooked up the regular meat. So I'm going to keep pounding it for a little bit more because there's still bigger chunks in here. Alright, I'm going to show you guys in a minute what it looks like. So right now, I'm going to lean it for you guys. So, see, as you guys can see, the meat is already cooked in there. Like I said, I can't take the meat and show you all the way because I don't want to spill it because there's a lot of juice. So once you break up some of the meat already, you're going to add your onions right in. So I'm going to use this spoon, I'm going to use this clean spoon, as you guys can see, and put in the onions in, all of the onions first. I use about 1 onion, so it depends on your serving size of how many people you're doing it for. So I got all the onions in first, so I'm going to stir in the onions with the meat. So the onions will get the flavor of the chorizo. Ooh, it smells so good right now. I wish you guys could smell it. So the onions are in, getting its flavor. Now you're going to add the bell peppers in. So all of that is in, you're gonna give that a stir so it gets soaked in with all of the flavor, right? All right. So once that's all stirred in, you're gonna let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. And here, gonna break some more down because there's still big chunks. All right. So while that sits in there for 5 to 10 minutes, I'm gonna clean up my area. So I'm gonna put the bell peppers back into this bag and clean up my cutting board and my knife because I'm done using it for now. Because I got all of this other stuff. So I got the chicken broth here, my corn, my seasoning. Now I need to open the cans of kidney beans and diced tomatoes. So I'm gonna use 2 of each. I bought 3 of each just in case I needed 3, but I am going to use 2 of each, 2 kidney dark red beans and 2 diced tomatoes. So let me clean up my board and my dishes and then I'll cut these open. Alright, so I have the lid here that I cleaned earlier before I left. I'm going to wipe it off because it has water on it. I'm going to put the lid on top of this. I want to make sure everything is... So I'm going to wash this lid a little bit more because there's still gunk on there. So, let's... Alright, so I got the lid washed again because, like I said, there was gunk on it. So I don't want no gunk to be in the food. So I washed it again with soap. You always want to wash your dishes with soap and everything to get it off. So it's cleaned. I'm going to put the lid on it for now so it can cook. Now I'm going to open my diced tomatoes. I'm going to keep the juice in there. I'm not going to dump out the juice. I'm going to keep the juice from the tomatoes. Right, this is the first one opened. But I'm going to drain the kidney beans because I don't want the juice from that. I just want the juice from the tomatoes. And the kidney beans will get drenched out and washed very good. Oops. You can use the kidney beans in a can, or some people like to use the actual beans that are in the bag, but you have to cook that and boil that for a while until it gets softened. So I'd rather use the one in a can. More faster, easier, don't have to wait. So, but if you guys are people that like to take longer and like to use the real beans, you guys can, but I'd rather take the easy way out and use the can one. So once that is cooking, the bell peppers and the onions, you want to prep your other ingredients to put in there. So right now I'm just opening these cans of kidney beans. So the first ones I'm gonna drain out are these kidney beans, because the tomatoes I really don't need to drain them out because I'm using the juice. So I'm gonna drain this out, but I need to find a strainer. So we're gonna use this little strainer here because I don't know where the red strainer went. So we're gonna use that one. Put the beans in there and wash them because the beans have like these type of liquid on there. So I'm gonna give them a quick wash. Alright, so I got the beans on a little quick wash here. So it's pretty good. So now you're gonna open your lid. Alright, I'm gonna throw my cans away. Alright, so you got your onions and your bell pepper cooking into this thing. Now you're gonna add your seasoning. So you're gonna open your chili seasoning and put a little bit in there. So let's open a pack of chili seasoning. So I got the original chili seasoning. I didn't get the mayo. I did get the mayo earlier and I put it back because it was $1.99 and I'd rather get this because it comes with 4. It was $1.99. So I'm using the original chili mix because we can put our own hot sauce at the end. So I'm gonna use this. So I'm gonna use about a little bit in here and mix it into the flavor a little bit. So add the chili seasoning right into the meat with the onions and the green peppers and the chorizo. But the chorizo still has all that flavor intact. So I'm gonna add some of it. I'm gonna keep the rest because I'm gonna add it in at the end when I add the chicken broth. So give this a little stir. Alright, once that's stirred in, you're gonna add your corn. So I'm gonna tear up my corn. You're gonna add your corn, your tomatoes. So I'm gonna measure the corn out because I'm not gonna use the whole bag, but so I'm gonna measure it out about probably a cup of corn. So let's see. So we're gonna use about a cup of the corn. So a cup of the corn will go in with the mixture. I always usually buy the bag corns, or you can buy the canned corns, doesn't matter. So you're gonna use a cup of the corn, gonna go in here. So you got that cup of corn in there, and then you're gonna add your tomatoes and your beans right into here. So I'm gonna add my tomatoes in. 1 can down, 1 more can to go. Right? You're gonna add your second can in, then you're gonna stir it. Right? You can give it a stir, then you add your beans in. So you're gonna give this tomato. If I have to add another can, I will later. And then you're gonna add your 2 cans of the kidney beans. You can use black beans. I'm using kidney beans. So you're gonna put the kidney beans in there. Right, I'm gonna put all my dishes in the sink to wash it. So I'm gonna stir up these kidney beans so all the flavor will get into it. So once you got all of your ingredients in there, you're gonna take your beef broth, and I'm gonna use this measuring cup and just measure it a little bit at a time and pour it in. So I am going to use 2 of these boxes of beef broth. So you wanna, here's 1 cup already. Alright, you wanna get all the juice out. You don't wanna waste no broth juice, so you want to get all the juice out. Right, here's the second one. All right, here's the second one going in. All right, so you want to get, once you put 2 cups in, you want to give it a little stir so it can soak in the flavor. As you guys can see, all of the flavors are there. I wish you guys can smell it. So I'm gonna add the rest of the beef broth in. And then you're gonna put it on high heat, high or medium heat, and let it simmer. All right, I'm gonna pour in the rest of the chicken broth. right in. All right, so that's all of the chicken broth that goes in, and the next thing I'm gonna put in there is the rest of the chili seasoning that I saved. And for the chili seasoning, I'm gonna pour salt in here, then black pepper, I'll pour it in a little bit later. So we're gonna add the chili seasoning right in. I'm gonna add about, that's like a bag, I'm gonna add about a half more of this chili seasoning right in. All right, so let's add a half of this bag into there. So like you want to add a whole bag and then another half in there so it can get its flavor, and then you want to stir it thoroughly so all the seasoning will get coated into the chili. As you guys can see, the meat, the chorizo, the meat, the tomatoes, the kidney beans, the corn, the bell peppers, and the onions is getting soaked in. So like I said, you want it on medium high so it can simmer. So right now it's 112. So you're gonna let it simmer and let everything get cooking. So I'm gonna add, before I put the lid on, I'm gonna add some salt. Where's the salt? Oh, the salt is here. So I'm gonna add a pinch of salt. So I'm gonna take a pinch right here, as you guys can see, pinch of salt, put it in. And then I'm going to take, all right, and then I'm gonna take I got the salt in there. Like I said, I put the black pepper in last. I'm gonna put some of this. Let's try this. Ring, 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 ring. All right, okay, guys. Hello? No, he's sick. Okay, fine. So yeah, that was my mom calling me, sorry. So I added the salt in there and a little bit of the seasoning. Let me try the broth a little bit and see if it's perfect. So I'm gonna taste it for you guys. It is perfect. It is a little bit perfect, but I'm gonna add the rest of this chili in there, original chili. So I'm gonna add, instead of a pack and a half, I'm gonna add 2. Let's make it 2 even. So I'm gonna stir this all up, and then I am going to taste it again. So let's stir it up and taste it again. And then I'm gonna put the lid on it and let it simmer. All right, so that's stirred up. So now let's give it a taste. Yep, that's perfect. So that is perfect right now. So I'm gonna put the lid on it and let it simmer and cook while I get all the dishes washed. While this is simmering and getting cooked, I'm gonna clean up the dishes and clean up my mess that I made here. And then I'll just wait until that's done, and I'll show you guys the aftermatch. And I didn't buy cheese because we had cheese already. So yep, I'm gonna clean up all my mess like I told you guys. I'm gonna clean up my mess and put everything away until that gets done cooking. Once that gets done cooking, and then we can start eating. So I'm gonna get all of it. You can eat this chorizo chili with tortas. Some people eat the tortas, so you can like heat it up a little bit and then dip it in there. But we're gonna use crackers with it, so it's gonna be super yummy. So I'm putting all the stuff away. So I got everything out of the way. So I got everything out of the way. So all we're just doing is just waiting for this to get cooking right now. So I have it on high heat right now so it can simmer and cook. So it's probably gonna take about, like I say, an hour and a half or so to get cooking, but this is probably gonna be like an hour until it's ready. But and if you guys want it to be more like not more cooker but more better, you can leave it in there for an hour and a half. But if you're using a crock pot will probably take about like an hour or two to like, because if you're using a crock pot, if you're using a stove here, it'll probably take an hour and a half. But it depends on your serving size. So if you're making it for a big group, it might take a while because you have to chop up all the ingredients and there will be more ingredients in there. So this is for a family of, let's see, for a family of 7, because I'm gonna take some to my grandparents because they want to try some, and they're making my grandpa is making vegetable soup tomorrow. So we have chorizo chili today, and then tomorrow we'll have vegetable soup. So this is yummy, and I can take some to my aunt's boyfriend so he can try it too. So yeah, because later I have to go to her house to help one of her friends apply for my workplace. So that's what we're doing, waiting for that to cook. And then we're gonna top it off with sour cream, and we're gonna top it off with some black pepper, cheese, and some hot sauce and crackers on the side. So we're gonna wait for this. So we're gonna just wait for this to cook. And then I'll link it down below, all the ingredients, and I'll try to put the exact measurements for you guys because I eyeballed everything here. But there is more stuff that you can put into the chorizo chili, but I did the basic one. I didn't want to add too much stuff in there. I want it to be like a normal chili, because when my grandpa makes chili, he has like the meat, tomatoes, and beans. So he only has like 3 things in there. So my chorizo chili has the chorizo meat, the regular meat, the broth, the onion, the green bell peppers, your beans, your corns, your seasonings, salt and pepper. I put the pepper in last, I didn't put it in here. And then see how it's in your tomatoes. See how it's getting bubbly right now? It's getting bubbly and it's getting cooked right now. So it's almost to the finishing point because I cooked the meat real good. So this should be getting to the finishing touch. And then, like I said, I didn't make this like spicy or anything. I did original chorizo chili, because if I put like spice in there, I don't think my grandparents like spice that much. So that's why I made it regular, so they can add their own spices to it at the end of their soup. So that's why I did original chorizo chili soup. And I used this big pot because the other pot is taking, so I had to take this from outside and clean it real good because it has like green mildew or something on top of it. So I scrubbed it like 3 or 4 times to get rid of all of this gunk off of it. So I'm letting that cooked. So it's boiling right now. It's gonna be done pretty soon. So, and then I'm gonna take this lid, as you guys can see on this little crevices right there, there is a lot. So I'm gonna try to scrub it and get it out. So I'm gonna leave this lid there because my mom can clean it because it has gunk on it, but I will use a different lid to cover that up. as you guys can see, that lid has gunk on it still, and the little crevices because my mom left it outside. So I'm going to try to find another lid for that if I can. Find a bigger lid that will fit that. If I can't, and then it'll suck. So let's see if I can find some type of lid. Okay, so I found a lid that fits it perfectly, because the lid I was using earlier, it still had like a little like mildew. I don't think it's mildew or green slime on the outside of the lid, so I'd rather be safe to not get anybody sick. So I put that over there. I cleaned it real good 3 to 4 times, but it still couldn't get it out, so I left it in there for my mom to deal with that. But I cleaned the pot real good because the pot had mildew, like green slime in there. I cleaned it like 3 to 4 times, and I'm using this lid that perfectly fits on there. So I'm just letting this simmer and cook. It's about to be done pretty soon because I started cooking at like 12, close to like 12 something. I think it was 12:30. So I started cooking it. So this is easy to make and everything. So while we're waiting on this, we're gonna wait, and then I'll show you a bowl of it once it's finished. And sorry that I'm talking a lot in here because just waiting on this takes forever. So I'm gonna take this and put it in the sink because we're gonna use a little scooper. So we're gonna use this scooper here, and then I'm gonna get me a bowl so I can show you guys the after. Ooh, shoot! Almost hit my iPad. I was opening the cabinet and the cabinet door hit my iPad. So I'm gonna use a bowl.
Ring, 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 ring.
So I have.
Ring, 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 ring.
I don't know who's calling me. This is random people calling me. So I got my bowl. I got my ladle that I'm gonna use to scoop it. I'm gonna get the cheese out. So let's see, where's the cheese? This is much of cheese that we have left. If I knew that we didn't have a lot of cheese, I would have bought another bag of cheese, but it's fine. So, right. So, I'm getting my bowl ready because it's about to be done pretty soon. Because it's bubbling right now, so let's give it a nice, really good stir. I don't know, random people are just calling me, so I'm gonna give it a quick stir. I'm gonna show you guys. There is still some big chunks of meat, so I'm gonna use my ladle and just. So this is what the meat looked like. All the goodiness is in there. So, right, give it about another 5 to 10 minutes before I start scooping it into my bowl. Let it get cooking. 5 to 10 minutes. And once this is done, and I give it about like 5-10 more minutes. Then once it's done, you're gonna turn off your heat. You always want to turn off your stove because you might catch your house on fire. So you want to turn it off. I'm gonna get me a spoon so I can eat it. So I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna put on my chili. And then I'm gonna use this Valentino hot sauce because I love hot sauce. I got the big giant bottle because I love Valentino and Tapatio, my favorite. So, and then I'm gonna open this box of crackers because I'm gonna eat some with crackers. Alright, let's open some crackers. And I like to get a bottom plate for my chili, so I have my chili in a bowl and on a plate, and then some crackers on the side. So let's get this plate right here. So I'm gonna put my little bowl underneath there, so when I carry it into the living room to eat it, I don't spill it. And then I'm gonna open some of these crackers and take some and put it on my plate. All right, let's take quite a handful. So I'm gonna layer it. As you guys can see, I'm layering it onto my plate like that. So I'm gonna put a couple more pieces of crackers on here. I don't want too many of the crackers, so I'm gonna put the rest back into this box so my family members can have some, right? I'm gonna put it back over here in the corner. And then our sour cream, we want to make sure it's open. So let's take, I bought the squeeze bottle because the squeeze bottle I think was $2 and the container was like $3 to $4. So we didn't need a lot of sour cream because we have a little bit left in the refrigerator. So I bought this so it's easier to squirt out. All right, so it is done cooking. So I'm gonna turn it off right now. And then my bowl is close to here, so I'm gonna take a heap of chili into my bowl. So 1, 2.
Ring, 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 ring-a-ling. Ring, 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 ring-a-ling.
My mom is calling me. Hello? Okay, hold up. I'm cooking something. I'll be out there. So that was my mom. So I put a bowl of the chili with the tomatoes and the juice. I'm gonna add a little bit more. All right, so that's good. Then I'll add the toppings to it. So I'm gonna add some cheese on it. All right, then I am going to add the sour cream to it, and then some hot sauce to it. I love hot sauce, so I put the hot sauce on it, and that's how it will look like, and that's your chorizo chili. Bye, guys.